So, has he been in a battle? Has he already been fighting for his life? There's some evidence that would lead to that interpretation.
Considered to be the oldest human mummy found intact, and scientists believe he died more than 5,000 years ago.
Such an interesting story. It's a crime story, and for sure we want to know about how he died and why he died.
Otzi is just a victim of a long-distance kill shot, where someone would shoot him, leave the arrow, leave the axe, and run away.
The mysteries of human evolution, potential evidence of human-alien hybrids, and remnants of a lost era. Everything seems to be buried deep within the icy ground, either discovered unintentionally or carefully dug out. Let's see what scientists found when they sequenced the DNA of a prehistoric iceman. Back in 1999, archaeologists working on a mountaintop made a very gruesome discovery. The mummy of an ancient Inca girl was found literally frozen in sleep. After years of research, experts found that the mummy, now called La Doncella, or the Maiden, was that of a teenage girl who passed away more than 500 years ago in a ritual sacrifice in the Andes Mountains. The young girl still had her dress on, and her hair was carefully braided. It almost looked like she was sleeping. Now, the well-preserved mummy is displayed at a museum in Argentina for everyone to see. 17th century mummy. Back in 2014, a group of researchers working in Lund, Sweden made a remarkable discovery. A 17th century mummy was found in astonishingly good condition, looking almost like it was sleeping. It was considered one of the best preserved mummies from that era in Europe. It belonged to a bishop from the same region, who was also a professor, architect, entrepreneur, and a royal chaplain. The mummy will be scanned and studied with advanced technology to learn more about it. This discovery offered a unique view into the life of people in Sweden during the 1600s. Polar Princess. A group of archaeologists were working at a burial site near the Russian town of Selikart. Digging up the ground, they made some significant discoveries. Mummies of an adult woman and a baby, both estimated to be around 900 years old. Experts found that they belonged to a mysterious medieval culture. The mummies fascinated the scientists, especially the female one, found alone in the burial, meaning she was probably an important figure. But unfortunately, only her head made it through the ages. Her hair and eyelashes were well preserved, but her face had a strange green hue, due to the copper she was buried in. The discovery provided important insights into ancient burial practices. Franklin Expedition. I think we all know about the ill-fated Franklin Expedition from Dan Simmons' novel The Terror. Not long after the expedition began, 3 members, John Torrington, William Brain, and John Hartnell, passed away and were buried on Beechey Island, Nunavut, in 1846. Over a century later, in 1984, archaeologists unearthed their bodies to understand how they died. What they found were remarkably well-preserved but deeply disturbing corpses. Their faces were contorted, their eyes frozen open, and their skin was horribly frostbitten. Can you imagine opening the coffins and seeing that? It's like setting yourself up for a century's worth of nightmares. Mysterious human fetus.
There are 12 ribs
Okay,
on this side.
so that's normal.
That's normal.
In a small Bolivian museum, a remarkable exhibit captivates visitors. The well-preserved remains of a 7 to 9-month-old fetus with a strikingly elongated head. The tiny body reveals underdeveloped ribs and a disproportionately large skull. A radiologist suggested this deformity could be genetic from inbreeding or interbreeding with a non-human species.
Got human-like characteristics, but it also...
Along with the fetus is the possible mother, whose skull also displays an elongated shape, hinting at a shared trait or cultural practice of intentional cranial deformation. These exhibits raise questions about human evolution and mysteries buried in the past.
has non-human-like characteristics in the sense of...
Metepec Mystery. Back in 2007, a resident in Metepec, a small city in Mexico, made a mysterious discovery. After hearing strange noises at night, he decided to set a trap. And sure enough, he caught this nightmarish creature. It was only 19 inches tall, with pinkish, nearly hairless skin and large glowing eyes. The guy reported the creature was very much alive when he found it and made an unidentifiable cry. The Metepec creature has since sparked intense speculation. With unknown origins and DNA, some believe it's proof of extraterrestrial life, while others have dismissed it as a hoax. The truth remains a mystery, leaving biologists and other experts fascinated. Humanoid ape. Back in the 1960s, a man discovered a mysterious creature that would later lead to a great pop culture trend. Allegedly, the missing link between modern-day humans and Neanderthals. This strange creature was neither an animal nor exactly a human being, but an ape-like humanoid locals have named the Minnesota Iceman. 6 feet tall, hairy and barrel-chested, with his left arm bent at an unusual angle, the cause of the Iceman's demise is still unknown. There is some confusion surrounding its origin. In one report, the frozen corpse was found in a block of ice floating off the coast of Siberia. In another one, it was found off the coast of Japan. But the most famously known report of the discovery is that the body was flown in from Vietnam during the war. Frozen Bigfoot. In September 1953, while exploring the frozen wilderness, a man made a startling discovery. A 6-foot gorilla-like figure trapped in the ice, frozen for an unknown number of years. With its thick, shaggy coat, massive feet, and a face bearing a striking resemblance to a human, there was no doubt that this was the legendary Bigfoot, the mysterious creature that has captivated the human imagination for decades. The man who made this astonishing discovery claimed that this particular specimen was a juvenile, judging by the size of its feet, which nearly matched those of a human. However, no further developments have occurred since, leaving us with even more questions. Early human. Scientists have found the face of our earliest ancestor, a 3.8 million-year-old cranium uncovered in Ethiopia, the same time the iconic Lucy and her kin roamed the planet. The fossilized bone reveals a protruding nose, broad cheeks, unusually large canine teeth, and a narrow brain, a case of a distant human relative known as Australopithecus amensis. This extraordinarily primitive cranium was discovered by a group of researchers in 2016, opening new doors into the evolution of humankind. Ancient alien. There's been a recent discovery of a 2,000-year-old skull that's got everyone wondering if it could be some kind of link to alien life right here on Earth. This remarkably well-preserved skull, discovered in the Paracas region of Peru, displayed undamaged teeth and a strikingly elongated shape, setting it apart as a truly unique find. The absence of typical sutures found in human skulls has left scientists scratching their heads. Could this specimen be evidence of extraterrestrial presence, or does it represent some human anomaly? Interestingly, a DNA test has revealed that the skull's origins trace back to Scotland, suggesting that European populations may have reached South America a staggering 15,000 years earlier than previously believed. This adds to the mystery of an already puzzling archaeological enigma. Frozen bear. In the icy wilderness of eastern Siberia lay a 3,500-year-old bear, almost perfectly preserved, making it a key find for researchers. Scientists have jumped on the opportunity to perform a necropsy to find out more about this furry brown bear, with its teeth and even soft tissues completely unharmed. This female bear, found by a group of reindeer herders in 2020, met its end from an injury to its spinal column. Scientists believe this miraculous specimen will provide a gateway for comparing modern animals to their ancient predecessors, becoming a historical breakthrough. Oldest blood sample. Climate change, while wreaking havoc on the environment, has also produced some of the world's most groundbreaking discoveries, like this one here. In 2018, the thawing permafrost of Siberia revealed a truly stunning find. a 42,000-year-old foal belonging to the extinct Linskave horse species. It was so well preserved that it still contained liquid blood. With its muscle tissue intact and maintaining their natural reddish color, this ancient foal is believed to have met its demise by drowning in mud just 2 weeks after its birth. And it seems like we might get to meet this ancient fellow, as experts are confident they will be able to clone the foal. Yucca Mammoth Mummy. Meet Yucca the mammoth, flaunting long strawberry-colored hair, lying frozen on its back with its head flopped to one side and legs sticking up in the air. She's believed to have lived 32,000 years ago. Discovered in 2013 in the Siberian permafrost, this mummified mammoth is believed to be 6 to 11 years old at the time of its demise, possibly from its injuries. Some scientists from Russia and South Korea have teamed up, hoping to clone Yucca. If they succeed, we might get to see woolly mammoths roaming the earth again in real life. Wouldn't that be amazing? Uyan and Dina. Let's talk about another crazy Ice Age animal discovery. 2 cave lion cubs were found frozen in time for almost 12,000 years. These little guys were discovered on the banks of the Uyandina River in Siberia. They're so well preserved that you can still see all the details of their faces. Nicknamed after the river, Uyan and Dina are considered to be the best preserved specimens of the species, with their fur, ears, and soft tissue still intact. You can even see their whiskers. It's like the cave just got frozen in place and time, gifting us with an extremely rare discovery. Frozen puppy. Among woolly mammoths and other prehistoric animals, the melting permafrost has also introduced us to Dogor, a puppy frozen in time thanks to the bitter temperatures of eastern Russia. This little pup is estimated to be 18,000 years old and is believed to be the oldest ever found in the region. With its whiskers, teeth, and snout all in remarkable condition, the puppy is believed to have lost its life at 2 months of age. Scientists are still trying to figure out if Dogor is a dog or a wolf, but they're confident that more tests will help solve the mystery. Wolf's head. In August 2018, a group of Russian scientists stumbled upon the remains of an animal that roamed our planet 40,000 years ago. A wolf's head with its hair dry and tongue still wet, estimated to be around 1 foot long, which is 25% bigger than wolves' heads today. With its brain and skin tissue incredibly well preserved, the giant wolf head was found in the freezing Abiski district of northern Yakutia. No one knows exactly what happened to this fully grown 3 to 4 year old male, but scientists are excited to study it and learn more about how wolves evolved over time. Mummified wolf pup. The Siberian permafrost is like a haven for the remains of Ice Age animals. A couple of gold miners working in the Yukon stumbled upon this wolf pup, which was estimated to be about 57,000 years old. Handed over to the experts for further investigation, the analysis uncovered that most of its internal organs were intact, and they were even able to identify its last meal. What turned out to be a salmon rather than a bison, which surprised the scientists. Although these melting permafrosts are unearthing essential Ice Age secrets, it's concerning at the same time, seeing how global warming is severely affecting our planet. Baby mammoth. Working in the Klondike Goldfields Trench in Canada, a miner found the remains of an unknown creature. At first, thinking it might be a buffalo calf, his predictions turned false when the expert analysis revealed that it was actually a baby woolly mammoth, which was about 30,000 years old. Preserved in the permafrost, the remains were pretty intact. As the region was under the threat of a storm, workers quickly excavated the ancient animal, and they transported it to experts for further research. Ice Age bear. The last Ice Age was about 100,000 years ago, and during that harsh time, Earth saw the rise of animals well adapted to extreme cold, including the Ice Age cave bear. And recently, reindeer herders on the Lyakovsky Islands discovered a remarkably preserved cave bear. Before this find, only bones of cave bears have been excavated. This discovery was significant because the bear's nose, internal organs, and soft tissues were all intact, and it was about 22,000 years old. Scientists consider this a world-important find, as it would help to find how these cave bear species defended themselves against the cold, and how exactly they went extinct around 15,000 years ago. Lion cub. Scientists in Russia have long been unlocking the mysteries of ancient Ice Age animals, and a couple years back, they stumbled upon an astonishing find: a perfectly preserved cave lion cub that lived about 43,000 years ago. This little cub, only about a month old when it passed away, was like a time capsule, with its skin, bones, fur, and even organs intact. Researchers were eager to find traces of its mother's milk to learn more about its diet. As temperatures rise due to climate change, the icy grasp of northern Russia is thawing, revealing these incredible glimpses into the past. Sea monster. If you think creatures from the dinosaur era were all land animals, then you've got another thing coming. A few months back, scientists found this skeletal structure of a massive sea monster. Found on Dorset's Jurassic coast, the fossil had a 2-meter-long skull and 130 sharp teeth. This creature was a pliosaur that lived around 150 million years ago. Its lower and upper jaws were still together as they were in life, and they had a bite as powerful as a T-Rex. They were one of the top predators, able to eat large marine animals. I mean, the sheer size of its skull was indication enough how colossal it would have been. The pliosaur fossil will be displayed in Dorset, attracting scientists from around the world to study this ancient sea monster. Frozen limbs. When this guy claimed to have discovered the frozen remains of a Sasquatch, the clip blew up online. Apparently, he got his hands on a forearm that couldn't possibly be a human's, a small foot, and a big foot. Showing the discovery, he said it belonged to a female Sasquatch that he found back in 1953. And after being preserved for about 65 years, about 25% of its mass was lost. Many people were skeptical about the authenticity of the discovery, while others believed it could be the real physical proof of the creature's existence. Now, you guys let me know what you think of this find. Yeti hand. A team investigating the existence of Yeti in the Nepali mountains found themselves face to face with something very strange. The Pangbasha Monastery in Nepal held an alleged Yeti hand and scalp, treasured for centuries and considered living proof to Yeti legends. Discovered in the 50s, one of the fingers from the hand was transported to England for testing, and the results revealed it was a human finger. But the monks refuse to believe that and still think it's a Yeti's hand. However, this isn't the only instance of a giant humanoid existing on our planet. Here's another relic that was discovered in an Egyptian tomb. A researcher found a giant finger that didn't look anything like a human finger. Measuring around 16 inches, the experts estimated the height of the individual to be about 16 feet. And that's a height almost impossible for humans to reach, which has left everyone with more questions than answers. Dinosaur embryo. In southern China, researchers found a dinosaur embryo named Baby Yinglong that's believed to be at least 66 million years old. This embryo is from an Oviraptorosaur, a feathered dinosaur that lived in Asia and North America. Baby Yinglong is 27 centimeters long and was found inside a 17-centimeter egg, in a position that resembles how modern birds prepare to hatch. The tucking position helped the hatchling break out of their shell and showed that dinosaurs might have had similar hatching behaviors as birds. Scientists were excited to use advanced scans to study Baby Yinglong's skeleton more closely. Frozen mammoth. The Siberian permafrost is like a treasure chest filled with ancient animal remains, and scientists are loving it. Another frozen mammoth has been found in the icy lands of Siberia, and this one is around 10,000 years old. The mammoth's body, discovered by a team of Russian scientists, is so well preserved that the meat still looks fresh. But don't go sniffing it though, because it might not smell too good after all these years. The scientists were able to get some liquid blood from the mammoth's body, which is the first time they've been able to do so from an animal that's been extinct for so long.
We have put the sample into the freezer and it didn't freeze at -17 Celsius like we expected.
Zombie virus. When the melting permafrost is giving us some incredible ancient discoveries, it's also bringing back some creepy crawlies that were better off staying frozen. Scientists in Russia have revived these tiny creatures called Deloid rotifers that were trapped in the Arctic permafrost for almost 24,000 years. And they've even started multiplying. These little creatures are microscopic animals that live in fresh water, and when their watery home freezes or dries up, they can go into a sort of suspended animation. But now that they're back, it's got people wondering, is this the start of a real-life zombie apocalypse? I mean, these things are so tiny and tough, they're practically indestructible. Let's just hope they stay in the lab and don't start taking over the world. Ancient hyena. A team working in the permafrost of Canada's Yukon Territory made a strange discovery in the 1970s. This tiny black object. At the time, no one had any idea what it was, and the analysis methods of that day and age had proved to be futile. However, recent experts ran some tests and found out what that black thing was, and it turned out to be a tooth of an ancient hyena that roamed the cold, grassy regions in the early years of the last ice age. And what made the discovery even more special was that it was the very first hyena fossil ever found in the Arctic. Baby woolly rhino. Now, let's have a look at an amazing discovery that will take you around 10,000 years back into the Russian wildlife before the Ice Age had hit the world. A hunter working near the permafrost found a nearly complete frozen mummy of a woolly rhinoceros in a gold mine on the lower reaches of the Kolyma River in Siberia in 2015. What made the discovery important was that this was the first find of the whole body of a woolly rhino in permafrost. The Russian workers studied the mummy, but were able to rebuild its body from the remains. However, how it passed away and how it was so well preserved is still a mystery. Giant sloth. Recently, a major subway construction project in Los Angeles revealed the remains of creatures from the ancient past. Bones of a bison, mammoth remains, and a remarkable discovery of a giant ground sloth were made. And it's not like the little cuddly one we think of. That one used to be larger than an average human, hitting almost 10 feet tall. Analysis of the remains revealed that the ground sloths were also slow-paced like modern-day sloths, but they used to spend all of their time on the ground, unlike their tree-hanging fellows. These discoveries paint quite the picture of Los Angeles from the bygone era, a home to various animals, which makes the region important due to its paleontological discoveries. Fossil forest. Geologists from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee unearthed a discovery of a lifetime: a fossil forest in Antarctica. Analysis revealed a very interesting detail, that the fossil forest dated back to a time even before dinosaurs. The discovery caused disruption in the scientific community, as it debunked the beliefs that the Antarctic has always been an ice-covered continent. And not only that piece, geologists found about half the fossil forest. Now, further studies and research are needed to identify the continent's ancient history and biodiversity. Saiga antelope. A guy taking a walk through the icy hills stumbled upon this strange sight: an animal seeming to be stuck in the ice. As he went ahead, he found its set of giant horns and a bulbous nose, and identified that it was a saiga antelope that appeared to have passed away. Half of its body was still under the snow in the harsh weather, which was probably the reason for its demise. It's pretty sad to see the poor animal succumb to the extreme cold. Woolly rhino. Russian permafrost has been home to several groundbreaking discoveries, and recently, scientists working in Yakutia, a region known for its diamond mines, found something amazing. A very well-preserved woolly rhino that was estimated to have lived over 12,000 years ago. The frozen ground preserved the rhino, keeping it in excellent condition. This discovery helped scientists learn more about Ice Age animals, and showed how Siberia has helped preserve such ancient creatures. Puppy or rhino. In 2011, researchers discovered an ancient, well-preserved puppy's body in Siberia that was estimated to be about 14,000 years old. Surprisingly, the most remarkable find was inside the puppy's stomach, a furry piece of tissue. Initially, scientists thought this tissue belonged to a cave lion due to its yellow fur. However, further research revealed that the furry tissue actually belonged to a woolly rhinoceros. Now, here's another shocking fact that has the scientists puzzled about how the rhino flesh ended up in the puppy's stomach, especially since woolly rhinos were believed to have gone extinct around 14,500 years ago. That's a mystery that has kept scientists sleepless. New dino species. The remarkable discovery of the Stegosaurus dinosaur was made back in 2018 when researchers were digging in Chile's Las China Valley. This creature, measuring about 2 meters long and weighing around 150 kilograms, also had a tail adorned with unique bony plates, unlike anything seen in other dinosaurs. These guys were estimated to have roamed the region around 71 to 75 million years ago. The creature was an herbivore, munching on plants. What's particularly interesting was that this dinosaur might belong to a whole new lineage of armored creatures, a discovery that challenges what we thought we knew about ancient reptiles in South America. Petrified forest. A place on Earth where you can take a walk in the exotic Jurassic era. Well, apparently, Curio Bay in New Zealand has this unique fossil forest. This petrified forest is located on New Zealand's South Island and was dated back to the Middle Jurassic period, about 175 million years ago. The region has preserved the ancient river environment with trees, stumps, and logs fossilized. Experts believe a catastrophic event damaged the trees and transported them down the river, where they settled in their current locations. Now, visitors from all over the world visit the location to have a look at the ancient trees and Jurassic River. Here's another fossilized tree stump, often called the Devil's Tower by netizens because of its similarity to the Devil's Tower in Wyoming. Believed to date back approximately 5 million years, this stump once belonged to a giant sequoia tree that endured through the ages. Fish heart. Researchers in Australia made a groundbreaking discovery: evidence of the world's oldest heart. Found in a 380 million year old fossil, the heart belonged to a go-go fish, a species that has since gone extinct. The beautifully preserved heart provided insights about marine life from all those years ago. According to experts, the fossil captured a crucial moment in the evolution of all vertebrate animals, including humans. Frozen bison. Back in 2011, scientists found a bison in the Siberian frozen ground. Estimated to be about 9,300 years old, the animal was remarkably preserved, with most of its internal organs unharmed, although they had shrunk to a smaller size after being in the cold for so long. Its anatomy was overall normal, but the lack of fat around its belly indicated it might have passed away due to starvation. Often damaged by predators or the environment, this intact bison was declared one of the best preserved animals. Prehistoric whale. A team of Peruvian paleontologists unearthed a well-preserved prehistoric whale skull in the Ococalle Desert. The skull was estimated to be 7 million years old. Its preservation provides valuable insights into prehistoric marine life. The finding had the scientists excited as it enhanced their understanding of whale evolution and ancient ecosystems. Ichthyosaurs. A few years ago, an employee at Rutland Water Nature Park in the UK made an extraordinary discovery when he noticed a series of ridges in the mud and suspected it could be something significant. Upon consulting the dinosaur team, they revealed it was not a dinosaur, but the fossilized remains of an ichthyosaur, an air-breathing sea reptile known as a sea dragon that swam the region's waters about 250 million years ago. The discovery was particularly special due to the sheer size of the animal. Measuring 10 meters long, it was the largest and most complete prehistoric reptile skeleton ever found in Britain. This picture of a mummified human has been going around on the internet. It was captured during the analysis of the oldest corpse on our planet. Back in 1991, a group of hikers were hiking the Otsal Alps in Italy and found a human corpse lying face down in the ice-covered hills, with one of its arms twisted under his body. Hikers immediately called the authorities, and the body was transported for further investigation. Carbon dating revealed that the mummy was about 5,300 years old, and the mummy was named Otzi the Iceman. At first, experts thought Otzi passed away due to hypothermia after being stuck in the ice for so long. But later, X-rays revealed there was a deep wound of an arrowhead on his shoulder. That was probably the real cause of his demise. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.